We're live into the action here, folks. Mirage to start things out between 9 and 1 win. And 1 win, well, look like they've got one idea in this round. An A take. 3 players in the palace. Many are tucked in the corner with doodlies. Could be a bit of a tricky one, though, as they come through the ramp. Deco might have his hands full. Flashbang dodged. Deco knocked him for the first contact. Instead, he gets the last laugh. K, though, staying alive for a moment, sets up his teammates, but it's an even exchange. A 2-on-2, make that just a clutch. On deck for Forrester. Plenty of time for him to play with, but he better get that bomb before they figure out it's dropped in the open.
Is there a kit? I can't see one.
No.
But they need to play together these. If they just trade it out, Forrester should be easily fraggable.
There's a spot on the first. Kylar says no trade needed.
Well, simple pistol. Just the Palace pop. And even though the player close ramp didn't get so many kills, I think he did quite a lot to pull attention, make it easier for that player in CT. Get a great deal done. So, I guess the setup, in essence, working fairly well for 9. But there is a bomb plant. No surprises to see a follow-up investment, as many teams would here. A couple Galils in the mix. No dropped AKs just yet. Oh, there goes one. Onto Boomich, of all people.
Interesting.
Give it to Travis or Forrester.
Nah, Boomich, he's taking it all. Nickelback setting up his boy, and Boomich is down. So someone else will get to use it very quickly. And Travis, gonna get the upgrade. Yes, he does. He goes for the scout. That's not what he wanted. Where'd the AK go? Travis is just fumbling guns top mid, trying to figure out where that AK went. And eventually, Nickelback will presumably come back for the Galil as well. I think he may have been ferrying those away from the top to make sure that they couldn't fall into the wrong hands.
Yeah, a bit kind of jacked up with adrenaline after seeing so many players in mid at the start. Fumbling his fingers a tad. As 9s, I mean, they were in the midst of going for an aggressive mid fight, but they didn't really make it out, did they? They were just clearing here by Delpan and then trying to swing up top, presuming on some flashes. And the spawns from 1 win were just so good. So good that it earned them early frags. And now this man advantage. I mean, Key has taken some space in Palace, but it's not going to be to great effect, is it? Unless he starts flanking here super early. Unless
they get something to spook them and head towards an underpass play, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Player and ladder as well. There's nothing to chase them off. Hayes is trying to come back into the angle, but he's going to get pinched if the timing doesn't work out for him. I think he's maybe heard players and apps, sees that the shutter's still intact.
God, he's scared of the whole map. Look at him. He's holding market.
I mean, he has no idea. He has no idea. Ladder limits his vision, and it means that he's open to Travis. So, 3rd kill in the round for Travis, and that one should just about end it. K, you imagine, is going to think about the save.
Maybe there's an M4 down in mid or something. Have a rummage.
Yep.
There he is. Time to give this one up. Yeah, I think Key's going to really kind of regret not playing with his teammate there in the end, or being a little bit more risky. You could just see Hades had... I mean, he's holding shorts, apps, and he's scared of a market flank. It's... Pick your poison. What's the chances he's ever looking the right way in that situation? And, yeah, of course, they're all spilled off the back of that early mid-engagement. 1 win. Coming good with the spawns. And I've got to be honest, Mike, it's pretty common for teams just to swing mid second round. Why wouldn't you? You know there's no AWP in play. You might have an AK in the mix, as they did. It's a super simple round. You don't need a lot of utility. And I think 9 should have been more, mentally prepared that could be a possibility. I don't think they should have been out in the open.
It's a pretty ideal round for 1 win as well, because they also get to upgrade all those Galils. So no one's stuck on the inferior rifle anymore. Depending on how you feel about the A1S. They have invested around this. It was a double eco scenario, so this makes a lot of sense. Not a lot of cash to spare here, but let's see if K can make something happen with that hero rifle. They do have a decent setup if this turns into an A-take, right? 2 players close at hand, the 2 players in towards mid. The fast rotates can be on. You can play retake pretty quickly. But they would love to get something out of Hades, and he's burning, fitting to his name. He's a flame and under, and now he's going to be headed below.
I'd put the rig pulled already. I don't think you should be risking this rifle if you're Key. He's a trap now, isn't he? Do you go for the fight? Do you try and save? There's no winning in that scenario. And decisive round from 1win. They missed a window smoke, which I think actually kind of helped them. Because it held one of those window plays a little bit longer. And Kylar, I thought he'd go for that rifle, but he's actually a little bit nervous.
I think he's really wary. Getting caught in that shutter, it's so hard to get in and then get back out. Knows he's a dead man. Further damage, still a possibility. If Deco gets this kill, where is Deco? Deco's not going to get this kill. If he got this kill, it'd be a team ace. Always love to see a team ace. But doesn't seem like that's going to happen because he is very wary of getting caught. It's hard to turn off those opera instincts even when you just have a rifle. The urge to save the gun above all else.
The Jame effect.
The Jame effect.
Is how it's medically known. Ideal start though, really, for 1win, isn't it? We always say it, and I'm convinced it's the truth that winning second round, especially in this sort of dynamic where they've got so much money, is so much better than winning pistol. You just completely ruin 9. Their first buy is not going to be good. Unlikely for Hades to have an AWP unless maybe Kylar could glass drop it, but it's, you know, it's not a good situation unless they can somehow stack some kills up on one player here. It won't be a great buy in the next either. And I guess all eyes on 1win now to see just how clean they can keep this round.
Slower around with that. Oh, got some contact. Forrester's just giving a little poke out pals. He hasn't realized it yet, but no one is there. This could actually get interesting. It's a full stack on B. They've seen a little bit of presence in jungle, and that is the only information 1-1 have to operate off of.
Let's have a look at this bomb.
I'm making a read.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's worth the risk, isn't it? You got barely anything invested. You can't really make an information play on this sort of investment, so can't blame 9. But it's going to be an underwhelming round for them. That's for sure. I'm going to be really interested to see how this half develops in terms of the roles on T side, because so far it's been Boomich has been the how to describe it, the control player might be a good word in mid. He goes out first, he tries to get connector and work with, you know, work off the back of Nickelback's utility, which I think probably was the roles he played pre-Bit on Navi, and then Bit being a superior mechanical player went into those roles instead. So we'll see.
Nickelback is begging for someone to give this a little look in. It's just an exit kill setup. Very much hoping to catch somebody off. Maybe send a gun sending their way. Unlikely to happen. Avenues of egress are available. There's not really any point in saving, so you might as well face. Forrester down for the count. Is gone way too far away to retrieve. And it's looking like a clean sweep until Nickelback lost a bit of the spray. Hey, SMG loss. Hades is making it expensive at the least. It's not going to be a huge impact, but it's something out of a round that looked to be a blank.
Oh, of course. I mean, return on investment-wise, that is 5-1 or something. Really nice stuff. All too often, we actually see teams save, don't we? They sort of, at least try and save the Deagle, and it's just like, guys, 1 kill here, and you've easily made your money back. And actually, look what that's done. Hades, by stacking up a couple kills, has got an AWP, which would not have happened if they didn't go for that attempt at getting some exit frags. So, yeah, they're very different looking this round, and 1win might equally not expect an AWP here.
Stuff over. Here's Boomich taking that control in towards mid again. He's not really going to be contested. The op's not close at hand. Focused in towards B instead.
Funky setup at the start. They're solo B, Hades from market, and then 3 heavily fighting mid. And I maybe just don't have the nades here to keep contesting mid. You can see how Key's already fallen out. We put these 2 players around connector, but they've got no nades. They can't re-smoke the one-way. And they're going to make a hard decision now about whether they're going to stick around or get out of dodge.
There's only 1 smoke on this site with those 2 players just deleted on first phase here in Con. This is disastrous. Minio has to be the hero. Down to half already. They're chasing him on out. Pressure is on. Minio
they didn't
must
see
be
him on
flawless, and he's gone. He's a goner. It's over. It's got to be the save.
Oh, Hades also didn't see Boomich crossing there, which might have prolonged his teammate's life a tad, but wow, that was perfect. And as I kind of built in the narrative, they had to make a choice to whether to give or hard fight connector just facing. And the choice was obvious. They tried to fight. And ultimately, they fed the flames. Fed the flames, hit the deck. And now this is looking glorious for one win. The reset is good, but to get it done on the first gun round as well, 9 are already starting to sweat a bit.
They've got to be. They've got to be. The CT side of Mirage is generally a pretty powerful half. They're not finding the ability. I mean, you have to imagine just so much of it has to go to their inability to contest mid for a while, right? I mean, they didn't have the nades this round. They even tried with the early stack, but you just don't have the nades for a sustained bout. And then once they lose that control, they don't have information. You're not getting a push. It's a super passive hold on towards B, so you're keeping numbers over there just because they don't know if the hit's coming through. So, it's tough. You might want to just take a little bit more of a severe eco than you normally would here to guarantee that you have strong nades. Max loss bonus is there now. But if they can get around with full nade sets up into their next gun round where they can actually maybe go for an info play, either ramp or apps or up mid, something, it would make life a lot easier. Because right now, it's definitely one win dictating the plays. They're picking which site they want to hit, they're picking the pace they want to hit at, and they're having a lot of success. It's far from ideal if you're a 9 fan.
Surely got to be frustrating for them. They have that second round where they make... I think a wild call would be a fair assessment to say try and fight mid on that sort of round, and they get punished big time, and they play this first gun round, and they just don't have the weaponry or the utility by virtue of getting the reset onto them. They would have bought here as well, had this been 4-0 and it wasn't them getting reset. But instead, it's got to be the half buy. And at least this time Hades has some body armor, so maybe that will incentivize a bit more aggression from the Polish Orper.
That's cheeky. Okay. Not a lot of utility behind it, but he just wants to see if he can get away with it. Little tickle damage on the deco.
Yeah.
Risky.
You can imagine his voice right now sounds like he's inhaled a liter of helium. Hey, help! Help! Oh my god! But he lives to tell the tale.
He does indeed. 80's posted on this angle. I mean, it's just Forrester isolated, right? So they're going to push back in. This could work. Unless Forrester kills everybody. There we go. Hades has dropped the gun. There's no one here to actually pick you up, but a cheeky play from Goofy. 1-for-1 exchange. Advantage still in the hands of one win. A chance for Kylar. He's got it. This time it's isolated. Now things are getting interesting. One win. Making some individual plays. Leaving some players on islands. But Boomich just slipped the gap. Did they break the shutter themselves? Or is Hades got a read here? Clearly not, because Kylar gets caught off guard. And Kylar, he's stuck. He knows he's stuck. They know he's stuck. And he's not got the help.
Hades is coming. Oh, if Kylar could just have stayed alive, maybe there was a chance. But now it's so hard for Hades to isolate these jewels.
It's just Mitch Boomich as well. Nickelback's alone. Oh, they figure it out. Hades anticipates Boomich continuing to move. Tries to adjust for that aim. Misses his shot just a touch. And that's all it takes.
It was a good try from 9. We're presenting a lot of different looks, making one win uncomfortable, but they just had just enough information to call this B split. 5-7's doing damage. That'll make Maui happy. But doesn't result in a round win, and at some point moral victories are not going to have a great deal of value as this half continues to slip the way of one win. This round feels so important, doesn't it? Just to stabilize, leg onto Deco, but he finds the head. What a shot.
Oh, that's a ripper. You've had 2 rounds in a row, right, where 9 put a heavy emphasis on contesting ramp, maybe getting aggressive for it. So how do they answer on the one-win side? Fly into the op angle. Boomich down in mid, though. He's been a key piece in terms of keeping the options open here, and that's now information being gained by 9. This has been a problem for them in so many of the gun rounds. Lack of information, lack of control towards mid. Now Kylar is pressing the envelope. He'll be ahead of this smoke, so he knows there's nothing behind it. I'm actually going to give him a flash for the peak as well, so he's confirmed. Nobody's top mid. The threat of the flank exists. Travis in underpass is the unknown here. Otherwise, it's just going to be an A take.
Okay, so Minio's actually chosen to go B instead of A. That would have really bolstered the defense. There is a bit of a window here, but the palace smoke is scaring at least Forrester. Oh, it's all a question of whether this flag's going to hit in time, because Key is in a lot of trouble if they actually start to split him.
Seconds. Key, that's so huge. It'll slow things down. It maybe sells that there's more presence here, but he backs into Khan, thinking mid was still clear. Oh, the bomb. It's right there. Kylar, the bomb's been dropped. He's taken out of play. The flank too slow to develop. They needed K to stay alive for just a moment longer, and it's all unraveling, Alan. This is heartbreak.
Can you believe it?
Oh,
that is star power from Deco. That first kill is... Obviously, he's millimeters from there being a body shot to himself, but he doesn't miss. Straight into the head, and somehow has the presence of mind to look around at just the right time as Kylar's about to decisively win the round with 2 kills and a bomb dropped in ramp without a lot of time on the clock. Wow. 1 win, 9, sorry. They need some pauses, don't they, just to calm themselves. Surely there's massive frustration in the mix, because they're going to be asking themselves, we haven't played a round yet. We haven't played a gun round yet. Doesn't feel like it.
And again, yes, it was the play towards ramp that ultimately decides it, but it's about control of mid. You see it again. They have control. They have all that space. Kylar goes for the flank, and as a result, the player sneaks up underpass at just the wrong moment, catches Key, and tears apart the sight hole. Everything's about mid.
It's also, you know, because Hades goes down, he's probably in a different universe where he wins that fight. He's in towards CT in the late round there, and there's more potential for Key to juggle connector and not worry so much about the side itself. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's why going man up is normally an 80-85% win rate, at least for the more fundamentally sound teams, because it's just so hard to readjust that defense. Well, this half-buy needs to start doing damage. The money, it was kept in check earlier on, but now it's looking real healthy. Their stocks are coming good, and 1win want to cash in.
This is a very different look. Heavy presence through the underpass. That nade, not actually that much. And now pressure onto the window player. They want to chase this kill, at least hold on to this space. There's not been any information play off of these A players. But likewise, they haven't given anything away just yet. And Forrester making sure that he has some ramp control. Oh, the flash in for Goofy. That tips it off. He's trying to find Goofy. Can't get the kill. They don't seem to know which way they want to go. It's a mass up in the apartment's courtyard. Deep smoke's in 45 seconds. Alan, this is starting to get a bit concerning, and they're committing towards A with no information on the site.
Yeah, I guess the logic here is that 9 have deep ramp. Surely from their perspective, their half-buy, they're going to now lean towards B, but it's not the case. If he can somehow wrangle out first kill here, Goofy, this round suddenly is right on.
He's barely got time. He's tearing it through, but Travis just won't miss. The spray's too good. Key makes it a little interesting. They're trying to get through. They're trying to find this damage. They need to get this bomb planted before you know it. Travis is just lethal here. 4 kills and execution, and 10 seconds is enough time to plant this bomb. Boom it down. But Travis comes up with the ace. Yes, it's an anti-eco ace, but they could not afford him to miss a bullet, and so he wasted none.
Those half-buys are scary. You lose the first kill to a Deagle. Suddenly, this round could have looked very different. There were 3 guys facing at the same time there onto Travis. And he makes it work clearly. The stars are showing up. I know Deco and Forrester aren't quite in the Travis leagues, but they've had some big impact kills so far in this game. The 1win engine is firing on all cylinders and working just as intended right now. 9. At what point do they start throwing caution to the wind and trying just to disrupt? You know, at what point are 9 going to start dictating the pace of the CT side? Because so far, 1win minus pistol round have dictated the pace of every single one following that.
Yeah, I mean, the most we've had is Kylar going for the long flank. And even then, it was still the contact in towards mid that changed the round. That's the only round where we've really had initiative taken by 9. Apart
Check
from
out Hades. Check out Hades and Palace.
All right, here we go. Here's the setup. Okay, everything could come down to this play. And he's going to get the first. He's able to get away. Finally, an advantage for 9. One that's not immediately punished. This is something they have not had in all 8 rounds of play. A clear 5v4. bomb's still floating around here. It seems like 1-1 to finish A. 50 seconds. Time starting to become a
No!
pressure. You can't rotate off. And Nickelback's just killed 2. Nickelback just walked out the palace and killed 2. They just cannot hold on to any sort of lead. Nickelback single-handedly dismantling this A defense. 9. This is the most frustrating round of all. Everything working in their favor until suddenly Nickelback says no.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The timing. There was no reason for the site player by the firebox to be looking anywhere apart from Palace. He had his teammates just clear mid. Wow. Maybe 9 getting punished for trying to do too much in a man advantage. They're clearing mid. It's the mid clear that incentivized Nickelback to actually swing, because he's like, oh, if they're fighting mid, surely A is lesser defended. It actually wasn't too weakly defended, but he found a monstrous timing. And hopefully for Goofy's sake, he can just hold on to this gun, because that is all they're going to have heading into this one.
Seems we've got a disconnect as well. Maybe the frustration from that round, knocking a few cables loose. That's Kylar out of play for the moment. That is so frustrating.
I mean, they almost need a bit of a break, don't they? So, in that sense, a tech pause here is a bit of a respite, because, wow, they probably don't even know what's hit them. They've lost every round in a different manner as well. It's not like one adjustment's going to fix this. 1win look a lot more sharp. They're being so decisive. A lot of credit to Boomish and Nickelback, presumably being the most vocal players. And then add on top that Travis is a bulldozer. Nickelback only had 2 kills before that round, but he wasn't slacking as he ran out of Palace either. Wow.
That's what we call impact. Impact fragging. Alan, what do you say to your team? I'm sure you had a lot of experience with this on Endpoint. What do you say to your team when it feels like you're just getting battered? How do you keep the spirits up when there's like just every time you seem to find an advantage or an idea or something about how you want to play, it just gets ripped away from you?
I think it actually depends on the vibe in the team. Sometimes you'll be laughing in this scenario because you'll just be like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? So certainly though, if it's frustrated, I think you just do some simple CS. You just keep it simple, maybe a retake A, fight mid early, and just play out a round on your terms. Play out a round on your terms, leave, if you're playing retake A, you've got a lot less avenue for those players to get timing because you're giving up ramp and palace. It shouldn't ever be a problem of getting caught out by that area, and you've always got numbers on mid, so I think just some simple Counter-Strike. You could do the opposite and give mid and hard fight the sites, but no more getting caught in transition, because that's where all of the issues have spiraled from.
Icy, 1 down. 2, not quite. K able at least to find that frag and get away with the rifle, but now it's falling apart elsewhere. 2 swift kills coming back the other way, and these remaining CT defenders, they're limping, they're low. Barely a bullet will do them in. Goofy about to fall. Forrester was waiting to bait that gun. And so for K, it's about hiding. It's about hiding as far away from danger as he can. And as frustrating as it is when you're about to be 9-1 down, he has to think about the save.
And the money is just excellent for 1win. They are buying every round remaining in this half, as they look absolutely nailed on at this point for double digits. 9 should pause, I think, before the next gun round, just to make sure they're on the same page. You might as well. The way this game is going, you might not have a lot more time to use those pauses, let's be honest. And I don't know, they just don't seem fired up. They don't seem fired up. Maybe some stern words from the person behind them could do them some help as well. Maybe some of the more vocal names on this team need to step in. Maybe someone like Hades, who's more experienced than the others, needs to say, "This isn't good enough, guys." We've, that's at least it's definitely a scenario right now where you lose on your terms. You don't lose this like this. You throw the kitchen sink at this, and if you lose, fair dues. But at least give it a good try.
If you lose, fair dues could be an album title. Thinking like a ska band.
A ska band.
Yeah, or like one of those like oddies, you know, sort of indie folky bands. If you lose, fair dues. Like they might be Giants type of beat.
Right. Okay. We'll commission it. This game continues in this manner.
Forrester has full control of mid. He's down by the bench. Going to be a nuisance here long term, and it seems like this is going to turn into a pretty straightforward play. You got your presence in mid. You got Forrester being a thorn in their side, and you're going to get an 8 take in. 4 players are here to receive for 9, so they've got the read, and K looking like he's thinking about the clear. Flashbang on for it. Forrester up to the task. No, not this time. Mid presence down, right as the 8 takes coming through. This is an ideal scenario for 9. Again, a clear advantage, a straightforward take. This is the best they've got. And finally, it's working in their favor. The kill's continuing to lean. But pesky players on the other side. Deco set up with a 1v2. We know he's more than capable, and he's got the bomb. He's got a minute to play with, and he can just leave.
And he knows Hades is still alive, which will scare him quite a lot when he hasn't got any utility to play with. And I think he's making the right move. At least, if you commit to A there, you're guaranteed to meet 2. Now, 9 are going to start making some hard decisions. And for the moment, it's so static. Of course, Deco doesn't know it, but if he sprinted here onto B, it's an open bomb site.
He's doing the cheeky play. Is he going to come back around, outbrain himself almost? But he could find the kill on the connected player. Just a question of which way K's looking. Oh, gone out, gone out. There it is. He's going to look for the second. He's checking. Just going to take what's there. Bird in the hand. 2 in the bush. And Hades will catch a bird straight out of the sky. Finally, a second round on for 9 here. Finally, something they can take home to the bank. But Alan, it's only one survivor.
Reasonable risk as well. Solo B. Just leave Hades posted up. And Hades wasn't on a deep angle. He was just on an angle from Van. So he couldn't see all the way into the top of that underpass area, which is the preferred sort of sightline. So at least 9 heard my calls. They're taking some risks. They're trying to play to their terms. Look at this CT setup. There's nobody B. Free mid. Nobody B at the start. Hades, after modding top boxes, now is going to reposition. But 9 have grown a pair in the last couple rounds, and at least that gives them a fighting chance.
Utility sailing in towards mid. It's going to be a full-on fight. There's a player underpass and 1 column. This could get spicy. K takes first contact. Kylar here as well. And that's working out for 9. So it's late in the game, but they're figuring it out. They're putting the pieces together. They're giving themselves advantageous fights. And now it's up to 1.
What?
Forrester's walked his way out of Palace. And that nets 2. He just walked straight out of Palace, down the ladder, completely unsuspected.
What's happened? Did they see the bomb and then everyone starts repositioning? How is a gap that big being left open? Wow, this round has turned on its head. Now it becomes protect the president in mid. And with some utility still, there's a smoke on Deco. We can put that on window, I guess.
That's a good one. Kylo knew he had to take some sort of initiative. Travis was waiting for that exact play, but Kylo was just quick with it. Couldn't be missing here. Can't be missing through the rest of the round. He's already got the 3 kills they have. Gonna need to find 2 more at this rate.
Time is gonna become a problem here if they don't start speeding up.
5 seconds on. Molotov to make life uncomfortable. Just wants to keep them off that bomb. Someone's gonna have to risk it. And Hades did all the Forrester. 15 seconds. It's going to be about this jungle cross. He's got to sprint it. He knows he's just on the timing. Has to hit this headshot. He's across the angle, but will he get a chance for the plant? That's a different question. Kylar wants it tonight. He's pulled him off the bomb. He'll kill him for good measure. That's a beautiful round from Kylar.
Absolutely saves them. Absolutely saves them. That shot from on top of step, or even around deep T-apps by the TV. They didn't hear the smoke in underpass. That is an obvious cue if you ever see that smoke in underpass that they're doing a fight like that. And they had no idea a player could be fighting from inside that cubby. So, you're going to see 1 win go back to regular default here. You can see they've learned their lesson. Deco's on that side of the map. And we go again as 9. Starting to make a bit of a spirited recovery here, right at the end of the half.
If you're 1 win, you got to be a little frustrated by this, right? Yeah, I mean, you still got 9 rounds. It's tremendous. You're doing great. That's fine. But you were so used to punishing 9 round after round after round that even 2 in a row feels like maybe you're letting off the gas. So let's see if they can bring it right back. The money is endless, it feels. And they've got this mid control again. This time it hasn't been contested. This player's a little bit further back than they've been. Oh, that cheeky play in towards Colin. That's massive for Travis. So much control now. Found an op shot missed. Hades isn't going to get a whole lot more opportunities. They're bringing the pressure. But Kyla on the support. That's a massive find. Now Hades can readjust, and they're dropping the bodies left, right, and center. They know where Forrester is. He can't get away. The bomb committed means that neither can his teammates. 30 seconds to try and recover this. Travis looking to find himself a fight with Cat.
This bomb surely is not recoverable. Look at it. It's by default.
Yeah.
And they pull it. They're out. It's a nice kill from Travis, but it's just a consolation frag. As that looks worrisome for 9 after losing that first player in Connector, but they take the risk. They lean B. 1 in towards ladder room. They're 2 side proper with Hades, of course, on the AWP. So they're obviously taking quite a big risk in terms of leaving A open, but they get it right. And that's that's been 2 or 3 rounds in a row now where they've taken a risk in terms of leading somewhere at various points in the round, and they've got it bang on. So whoever's making these calls seems to have a nice crystal ball at their disposal.
Ball is taken here. Time for Hooch to get activated, get involved. Give us the Hooch Pearls of Wisdom. You think
We're all
Hooch's
for
Pearls
that.
of Wisdom are?
We're all for that. Something to note on this T side is that 1 win have taken mid spawns every round. They have them. They're not playing. So when you play it in a way where you always take the mid spawns, your spots kind of go out the window because you have to take the spawns on whoever has them. So they played a very fluid T side where everyone has played everywhere, seemingly throughout.
There it goes. Straight up mid. Forrester taking point here. He's so far forward. They've got the space, but K in the underpass finds Deco isolated. That's the op down right off the rip. An untradeable position as well. But he's wary, actually. They're going underpass to chase this down on the smoke fade. This is going to be huge. And once again, Boomich has just walked out of Palace. They have to be aware of this. This is twice that this is happening. It's going to unseat them once more. They find the kill in the courtyard. Goofy trying to patrol here, but there's too many crosshairs. Leaves Kylar all alone. Fellas. I understand an aggro ramp aggression, but 1 win have shown they're willing to do it once. You can't keep letting them get away with this one.
Feels like they're starting to be a little bit too smart for their own good. Again, they're getting caught in transition. They wanted to get into deep ramp, and they take their eyes off Palace for that 1 second. That's when Boomich sneaks his way through, and nobody from there is covering it whatsoever. Especially after getting that great entry off the back of it was the key that went into underpass. That was fun. They showed that smoke earlier. They obviously got the kills in mid. And he does the opposite. So they call out the smoke. They're like, oh, they're doing the mid fight again. And then he just pushes his own smoke, and Deco has no idea.
Travis, 1. Nickelback able to trade out the next. And this A defense is gone. Especially with Hades already down for the count. So Kylar and Goofy, I mean, it's last round, so you're going to try it. But good luck. These scout shots better be legendary. First opportunity missed for Kylar. Goofy just trying desperation plays with an MP9. Has Nickelback close up at least. Of course, no smoke to come through. This means he is at a massive disadvantage. So even with the 1 kill, Kylar can do no more. 11 rounds for 1 win. It's far from just 1. They want all the wins to send us to the half.
All the wins.
Well, the first half of this upper bracket final really couldn't have gone much better for one win. They have an 11-4 lead, and they're just now on the defense. And Nine were struggling for control, but that's a way to get things started again. Hades, just a one-tap, one-kill. Why not? Only a defender as well. Means that if the bomb just rocks out, we've got a sight free and clear. Now the underpass play comes through. Deco spots that, but he needs to find kills. Damage is what they require, and Travis will provide. Man was lethal in the first half. Doesn't seem like he's going to slow down. And the bomb's rotating.
No.
The bomb's rotating, but they have no idea. Now they know Nickelback's here. They've just spotted Nickelback. They're trying to come back towards A. This is chaos. This is madness. You've got Kylar coming in on a flank. Now Nickelback's rotating back. I'm baffled at this point. The stairs player goes down. I don't know what to read. So they certainly don't, but Deco will put it together in time. And now what was looking like great positioning for Nine is turning into disaster with just Minio left alive here, Alan. This is madness.
Can say that again. Bunch of cats heading at a laser pointer. Nobody knew where to go. And then they all coalesced on one position at the end. Everyone's trying to fight for jungle. That first shot from Hades was monstrous. But here in mid, there's nobody top mid to give Travis something to think about, and that man clearly has been quite the bread maker so far in this game. He's providing and then some. And look at Nine. Lack of a bomb plant is going to mean they can't do what OneWin did to them in the first half. They can't buy into this and go for an early reset. OneWin are going to be so far in the lead by the time Nine can get rifles out. And we said it from the off. This is OneWin's pick. But this is not a bad map for Nine. This is not a map that's been unkind to them or is consistently picked into them and brings losses. Mirage is a good map for Nine, and it's not transpired on this occasion.
I think one of the things that has to make you the most concerned as well if you're in the Nine camp is the manner in which some of those first half rounds were lost, where either you have an advantage or you have the positioning or you have some things working for you, and then suddenly there's one thing overlooked. You know, a position left open, a player walking out of Palace, or just a multi-kill coming back the other way, and suddenly it all unravels. That's always distressing, because it's in those moments that you start to just feel a little powerless, where, you know, you're just typing, you get killed, and it's like, hey, he's just better than me. He's just better than, what can I do? In that moment, what can I do? Hades going to try and do a lot, but he needs to do even more than this. 2 kills already found. The third will elude him. Which gets the upgrade. OneWin get the round, and they are trundling ever closer to the finish. Here's the rifle buy from Nine. No bomb points yet means it's going to be far from great. It's going to be limited in the util, but this is their chance. This is it, Alan. Do or move on to the map 2. Not quite that yet.
Averting the course of this map might already be too far gone, but at least get yourselves in the series. There's a lot at stake here. You don't want to fall down and meet your Forza, for example, in the lower bracket and be denied your chance of a grand final spot. Of course, as we said, map advantage as well in a best of 5. That is not something to be sniffed at. Give yourselves a great chance. As we're posturing like we want a B-pop, Forrest is here. He's actually got no support. He's the only player on this side of the map. He has to stay alive.
Also, a pretty interesting fight with Kate.
No.
He heard the dink. Oh, no. He heard the bullet impact, realizes what he's found. Forrester, even when it looks like he's about to get caught, he just finds the kill before they see him. Continues the feeling in the Nine camp that you just can't set a foot right here. Disastrous. Interesting to note that OneWin are playing almost full, I think maybe full A1S still. Something to keep in mind, and well, they're making them look dang good. Forrester with the 3-piece in this one. Travis the only casualty, as they look so very clean in their first gun round. Nothing that Nine can even do to get involved.
So they choose to go for. It's just going to be the half buy. I think if you're truly playing to win the map, you full invest. Because you have to win the round. You have to win the round. But Nine are more concerned with getting guns out later on. As the half comes in, there's quite a lot of utility, so there are some options. There's 4. Group up towards this A side of the map. Boomich is here, of course. A anchor for a long time for major winning Na'Vi. He's been around the block and then some on this site.
There's a further spot in towards Arch, so even though they don't get the kill, they get the information. Kylar out of sandwich. His position's red. I mean, the bullets certainly give it away, but they already knew. One's just waiting him out. Waiting to see what move they make. The connector player could get something, but dueling off with Cat. Minio just kind of gets stuck on that smoke fade. It's such a tough spot to get any kill, and they lack the penetration power on these pistols to damage the guy standing behind the box. So even Boomich was under threat for most of this round. He's getting away with it. He's getting away with it. And this is looking like map point. Bomb dropped to make it even more hopeless. He's popping some shots with this Deke, but he's not long for the world. And neither are 9. One of the next 11 rounds needed here, Alan.
It's looking troublesome. Gotta take this one round at a time. One round at a time, and just play some Counter-Strike. They've got to play some T-side Counter-Strike. CT, yeah, they had that still in the middle where they had a couple nice decisive rounds, but shake the rust off. We're already looking further along this series, realistically. But there's still potential here to play some good Counter-Strike before we say goodbye to Mirage.
We have a saying here in NA. I don't know if this is a British saying as well, but I think they have about a snowball's chance in hell of making it through this one. Kylar trying to prove that just a little bit. It's looking all right in this round at the least. Man advantage, bomb likely to go down. Money is healthy enough that you can risk it regardless of what happens, but if you're playing the smart long game, there's a world where one win just say, not our look.
I think with Deco this low, it's got to lean that way. You could stick around to take guns out, but you're already on map point. The best case scenario is forcing some Galils, and it probably isn't worth it, is it? Versus potential more buys down the line for yourselves. So, passive approach. A-pop is looking good, and maybe they're taking a little mini fridge down into hell to keep that snowball going.
Do you guys have that saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one. Very descriptive.
It's been a while since I've heard it. Not as common over the pond. But, trying to think of a synonym one for that. One saying that's synonymous for that sort of saying.
It'll happen when pigs fly is the other one.
Yeah, that one, yeah, it's just too cliche, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's just so overdone.
I mean, clearly you can make a pig fly, just not for very long.
Your circus act didn't last. It didn't go too well then.
Well, you know what they say. What goes up must come down. Learn that one from Dr. Seuss. The butter, what is it? The butter battle war?
I can't remember.
Oh, could be the forest war here. For one, though, for the moment, is a pretty good result for 9. Problem is they've gotten bunched up here in the apps. They need to get out. Meanwhile, reinforcements have arrived for one win. They want to fight Travis. He's a lethal man. Player already at Van. Nickelback doesn't realize that. Cost him his life, but Travis is instantaneous on the trade. And now it all falls to Minio. And so it all falls apart. Minio, what do you have for us? Peppered with bullets. New holes being made in his apartments bit by bit. And it'll be Travis to put him down for his 26th kill of the game. A 3-piece in that round. And many a round for one win. 1 by 1. Mr. Travis. That's a heck of a first map to take here, Alan.
Absolute beast, and, you know, this kills per round is enormous.